So we're on persistence and consistency, right? Huh? 38. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa ba'd. So we're on page 38 of the Believer's Handbook, Seeking Knowledge, chapter number 4, Persistence and Consistency. Persistence and consistency. Can't live without that. Can't be successful without those two. For you to be successful in anything that you do, you have to be consistent. You cannot work a lot one day and get lazy for 3 days. You will never see success in this manner, especially if you're eating a lot of ice cream. Shut up.
I didn't even eat mine. It's in the freezer.
It's all your fault anyways. For you to succeed, you have to make a schedule of what you are. I'm back in America, so I have to do what Americans do. What's the American way?
Eating ice cream?
No, blaming other people for your mistakes. And never taking accountability for your actions. So this is his fault that I ate the ice cream. It's his fault. Yes, that's the American way.
Come check out these flavors.
he did say that.
He said, like, come check out these new flavors.
Yeah. He got all the flavors here, Baba. All right. For you to succeed, you have to make a schedule of what you are going to do, and you have to stick to that schedule day in and day out. You cannot get in the habit of taking days off all the time because you do not feel well. Here I said a schedule, and I'm not a believer in making schedules. Schedules are stupid, and I'll tell you why they're stupid. Because I've seen people, they spend so much time trying to write up this beautiful, elaborate schedule about every single minute of the day and how they're going to manage their time that time. But, you know, the schedules, they don't take into account what?
Emergencies?
Just not just emergency, just things come up. Person comes by your house that you weren't expecting, a guest comes by you weren't expecting, but this was your time to do this action, and now you can't do that action because you scheduled it at that time. Somebody gets sick and you got to take care of them, or the family, something happens, whatever. You have to go out and spend time with the family. Things come up. You have an important meeting, or something, some plumbing problem that you got to fix in the house. So that's why I don't like schedules. I'm a firm believer in what?
Going by the day.
You read the book. You don't know how to answer this question.
Not like living day in, day out.
No, not winging it either. Winging it that's being a loser. Losers just like they just go by the day, doing what they feel like doing that day. No, you're not going to be successful like that either.
No, like you have just like a daily schedule you do.
No, a checklist.
Checklist.
Yeah, like because a checklist, you just got to get these things done throughout the day. When you get them done is not important. The important thing is what? Getting them done. Yeah. So, you could say, like, for example, like how I split the checklist up is the morning and the evening. So these are the things I got to get done in the morning, no matter when. So sometimes, like, for example, like last night, I didn't sleep very well. So we came here, we prayed Fajr, we took the class, and when I went home, I was just tired. I said, man, I'm going to go ahead and just take a nap now, and I get back up. When I got back up, then I started reading the Quran. Then I started doing what I had to do. Because this way, if I have to say, okay, my schedule says I have to read Quran right after Fajr, what happens now when I'm like tired? I'm not, not feeling well, or just didn't get enough sleep for whatever reason. Now it messes up the whole schedule for the whole day. And then now I'm going to leave off, this is my priority. So now I'm going to miss my priority. So it's better to have a checklist, because at least with the checklist, if something comes up and there are things that I can't do, I know I put the most important things at the top of that checklist, because the most important things are the things that you do right around Fajr, the earliest in the morning. Yeah, those are the first things that you do. And then the less important things throughout the day. So at least I know generally nothing is going to come up at 5 o'clock in the morning, other than just me being tired and I didn't sleep that much the night before. That's it. But nobody's going to pop up in my house at 5 o'clock in the morning. And even if I have a plumbing issue at 5 o'clock in the morning, all I'm going to do is shut the water off and wait until like 7, 8 in the morning to call somebody. So, yeah, exactly, because there's what plumber you're going to call at 5 o'clock in the morning. So you focus on getting those important things done first thing in the morning. before all the distractions, before all the stupid people wake up, before everybody wants to bother you and call you and send you messages and do it. You get all that important stuff knocked out. And then throughout the day, you find time to knock those other things out. But as far as setting a schedule and trying to stick to like a specific schedule, nah. Unless you're in a place like where you're seeking knowledge and you don't have any distractions, no job, no nothing, your whole life is just seeking knowledge, then I don't see how you're going to make a schedule, like how that schedule is going to benefit you. With the checklist, yeah, you just put the things that you know that you can do in a day and just get those things done. The most important part of being consistent is that you do not overburden yourself with too many tasks throughout the day. Portion out what you need to get done every day in small portions that you know you can do. As the portions you have become easier and easier, begin to add a little more over time. We can see the importance of this characteristic from the sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the following hadith. And Aisha radiallahu anha قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أحب الأعمال إلى الله أدومها وإن قل. So the most here, Aisha, she reported that she heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, say the most beloved actions to Allah are the most consistent. وإن قل, even if they're little. Even if they're few or the small in number. So here you're not concerned about who does the most. You might do 10 times more than me today. But if I keep working little by little every single day, let's see who gets more done by the end of the year. And that's where the victory is at. The victory is not, see, you get certain individuals, they want to win the day. They want to win today. I'm not looking at trying to win today. I'm trying to win the year, win the decade. And we're going to see. I'm going to be like, going slow. But we're going to see who comes out in the end in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, and see who has more, who's benefited more. And that's where the victory is at. And the victory is in the lifetime. And that the person can consistently do this over his entire lifetime and die on that. That's where the victory is. So you see, like Sheikh Muqbil, rahimahullah, Sheikh Muqbil, he didn't get started seeking knowledge at a young age. And he didn't grow up in an educated family. He grew up in a family of farmers. So when he went to Saudi and the first time, and that's when he got introduced to knowledge and he started reading books, but he still hadn't really started seeking knowledge fully at the time. And he ended up going back to Yemen. And when he went back to Yemen, he started having all these different problems with the Shia. They tried to, so eventually they got tired of him. They said, look, the only way that we can solve the problem with this guy is to put him in one of our schools. And you have to understand with the Shia in Yemen, from Ahlul Bayt, they don't allow a tribal person to study in their schools. It's mamnur, it's prohibited. But they did this because they wanted to shut him up, because they thought that maybe if he studied in the schools and he started getting knowledge from them, that he'll stay quiet. So once he realized the type of batil, the type of misguidance that they teach, he ended up just studying Arabic grammar over and over and over. So he studied Qadr al-Nada about 7 times. Every time that he would finish it, he would act like he didn't understand it. And they're like, oh my God, this guy, they think he's really that dumb because he's a tribal person, but he's not. He understood the book probably better than the person teaching it. But he did that just so they would keep teaching him the book of Nahu over and over and over again. They wouldn't teach him the other stuff. Because they were trying to get him to study their Aqidah, their fiqh and all this. And he knew that this was batil. So then eventually he went back to Saudi. And then, he's much older now. And late 20s, maybe 30, I think, when he started actually seeking knowledge full time. So he was much older. So, I mean, and like I said, if you look at his background wasn't of what? Education. But what caused him to surpass over all the people that he studied with? Where are those people that he studied with? You don't know their names. You don't hear their names at all. You go around the world and you go to any masjid of Ahl Sunnah, you say Sheikh Muqbil, you'll find one person, at least anywhere in the world, that knows who you're talking about. At least one person. So how did he surpass the people? At consistency. Because he didn't have the super strong memory. He didn't have all that, and he told the people that. He mentioned that at one time in one of his lectures, in one of the classes, where he said that, And it's in audio. I don't know the exact name of the audio, but it might have been when he was talking about his life. He said, he just wanted to show the people. He said, look, if I can do it, everybody should be able to do it. Because he didn't look at himself as being super educated, but he's very, very, very consistent, very persistent. Like when he found something was difficult, he didn't just quit. And that's the difference between being consistent and being persistent. Because being consistent, you have to just keep going. Today you don't feel like doing it, but you got to do it. Tomorrow, whatever, you got to do it. You got to get these things done every single day. You got to get those. If you have that checklist and you have these things that you got to do on a daily basis, you got to get them done. And you have to be consistent. Persistent is what?
Persistent is like going, like you don't stop, but there's a difference between persistence and resilience.
Yeah, well, no. What's the difference between persistent and consistent?
Persistent is like when you press up on.
No, persistent is through the difficulties.
Oh.
Like you don't wave the white flag and give up so easy. You keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Resilience is your ability to get knocked down and bounce back. To get knocked completely out of the race, but then to bounce back and come back and still put up a fight. That's resilient. But persistent, you just keep pushing. There's a roadblock, knock it out the way. A lot of people, when they start to see these difficulties and they start to feel that difficulty, they generally what?
Quit.
Yeah. That's a surrender. So and then this is what happens because, and this is what I tell you, the people when they go and they do these difficult tests, you got to understand, you are going to do something that is hated by 99.999% of the world, including Iblis, 100% of Iblis and his followers, 100%. So you are now announcing war on Iblis. War on all of Iblis' followers by going out and studying the religion, studying Tawheed, studying Quran and the Sunnah. You think that they are going to let you live in peace? Do you think that you are going to have it easy, that you're going to go overseas and you're going to study? Wallahi, you are going to go through tribulations that will turn, hairs on your body white, not just your hair on your head. You understand? You will be going through all types of tribulations. Sadness and grief and pain and sickness and poverty and everything. But the thing is you always have to keep in the forefront of your mind what you're doing it for. What are you doing it for? If you forget that, and that's when you get knocked off track, because Shaitan, sooner or later, he's going to knock you off track. Don't think that you're just going to be on that track the whole time. Sooner or later, he's going to get you some way. He's going to knock you off track, and this is going to be a test from Allah. But it's can you remember what it is that you're doing this for to get yourself back on track? And, and obviously it's number one is isti'ana billah. You have to constantly be seeking that assistance with Allah. Because if you think that you can do it on your own, you're going to fail miserably. You're going to fail miserably. You're only going to do whatever you do in this life with the assistance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But to keep up that persistence and consistency, to keep going and going and going and going, to get knocked off, derailed for a little bit, but then get back on track, all of that takes a strong desire, a strong drive to get whatever it is that you're out to get. And if you forget what that is and you get derailed, you're going to be derailed for life, So he said, being the actions mentioned in the hadith are the most beloved to Allah, we should set that as the standard. All right. We should set that as what? The standard. We are successful when we do the actions that are beloved to Allah. You have to remember that you are in this for the long run. This is not a race. And that's the whole thing. Remember who you're trying to please too. You're not trying to please the people. And this is what happens when a lot of people, they go to seek knowledge and they get caught up in what? Trying to please the people. Because this is a bad problem amongst Americans. Westerners. But Americans is worse. And why do I say Americans?
They're the weakest.
Well, no, because the vast youth now that are growing up in America, they're growing up in single-parent households without the father being in the household. So they look at the sheikh or these big students, they start to take them as father figures. And they want to impress them like they would impress their father. And then it's okay, dude, this is not your father. You understand? This man is out to teach the people and to give dawah. So when he doesn't do something that he likes or something, because he's trying to impress this person, just like he would try to impress the father, but the father's not there. So he's looking at a male person that he could try to impress. And that's not what you do it for. All right, a sheikh is a human being, and those big students are human beings and they got lives. Their life is not to raise you up. Their lives are not to coddle you and to baby you and change your diapers. Their lives are to teach you what you need to go, to teach you what you need to know and make you a man so you can go back and lead the people. You know, and if you're not going to act like a man, then you're going to have a very, 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 very strong, like, wake-up call. You understand? Because, you know, when those tribulations start to hit you and you're doing this for the people, how are you going to be patient? How are you going to be patient? Well, I have seen people leave seeking knowledge for this reason. I have seen him because he went to the sheikh and he was crying because the brothers were speaking about him. And he thought that the sheikh was going to hold him and say, don't worry, my son, it's going to be okay. And the sheikh told him, he said, Ya akhi, what's wrong? What's fake? Come on, you know, be a man, you know, come on, he toughed us out. He didn't want to hear that from the sheikh because he got raised by his mother. So he wanted what? He wanted that motherly, cuddling. And the sheikh's a man. This sheikh fighting against the Houthis. This sheikh ain't going to sit there and, what do you want him to do? Take you and sit you on his lap and rock you to, do you like rockabye baby in the treetop type stuff? Yeah. And the brother ended up leaving the match because of this and ended up warning against the sheikh. Even till today, if you say sheikh, yeah, he's like, starts barking. So, I mean, this is the reality, people, because they're trying to impress people. They're trying to, oh, I'm trying, like, come on, man. You're trying to what? You're trying to do the actions that are beloved to Allah. You're trying to earn the pleasure of Allah. So when all these tribulations with the people come, khalas, that shouldn't even affect you. That shouldn't even knock you. That should, cause you to, stutter step a little bit. It'll slow you down because it's a distraction. But that should not be a cause of you being derailed like this person. He was derailed because he wasn't doing this for Allah. Well, and Allah knows best, He got, angry over what a person said to him. You raising your hand?
So what if the imam was raised by his mom and the student was raised by his mom? And the students are crying, but the imam...
Then that community is doomed to failure. A community like that is doomed to failure. If they don't have one man amongst them, the community is doomed to failure. Failure. Everybody just comes in and starts passing around a tissue box and we all cry together. It's an appropriate month to act like that now, isn't it? Was it this month? There you go. That's the rainbow masjid right there, boy, the people that do that.
That's San Francisco.
So Allah. Yeah, no. This is Deen al-Rijal. I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts that leadership in the proper places, man. You have to remember that you are in this for the long run. This is not a race. We're not competing with anybody. We're struggling and striving every day to learn our religion so we can get closer to our Lord. This is our purpose. Take it easy. Don't take it easy like take it easy, but take it easy with, as far as trying to compete with everybody else. In reality, there's only one person that you need to focus on. And that's you. And then when you start having other people under your responsibility, you have a wife, you have kids, then you have to focus on them. But your primary responsibility, right, at the time of you seeking knowledge, is to fix yourself. Don't think about fixing other people. Don't think about giving dawah to other people. If you can't fix yourself and you can't follow the correct guidance yourself, what good are you for other people? What good are you going to be? If you don't have the discipline to sit down and study and learn your religion day in and day out and go through all the trials and tribulations, what good are you to anybody else? What good are you in a community? So here, and this is for all of us. You understand? So you need to focus on you, with fixing yourself. Everybody goes over there, they go overseas, and they're too busy thinking about what's going on in this masjid and this message. Focus on the here and now. If you're overseas and you're studying your deen, focus on trying to practice the deen, doing the actions that are beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and fix yourself. Get all that evil and corruption out of your heart. Sit there and study and memorize until none of that garbage and filth from Jahiliyyah starts to pop up in your head. And get rid of it all and clean your heart out completely. What good are you if you go back to the people and you still have love for that previous life? Still have love for music. Still have love for movies. Still have love for, for people that you knew in the past. You know, I sat in Jacksonville. You know how long we were in Jacksonville? It's 2 years, 2.5 years. You know how many people that I went and met from high school, and people that I knew? It's a place I grew up in. Who did I meet? Zero. You know why? Because that love for that is long gone. Long gone. You know, as much as I want to go and give them dawah and everything, I don't want to have any association with anybody. I sat there and I would walk past people I knew from the streets. Just walk right past them and wouldn't even say anything. And I see them look at me like, you know, do that double take, but I'm gone. You know, I'm gone. I'm not going to talk to them. To that love, you got to stay there until all that love for all that stuff is gone. Gone. You don't have any concern with this stuff anymore. But if you go and you still have that putrid jahili in your heart, and then you go back to the people, it's only a matter of time before you start corrupting the people. It's only a matter of time before, you know, what's in there, you're hiding it. You try to hide things in your heart, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring it out. He'll bring it out. You can't hide things in your heart. You can't hide things, not in this deen. You might be able to do that amongst the kuffar and hide things in your heart, and it will stay hidden until the day you die. Look how many of these people that, you know, everybody knew what their sexuality was, but they kept that stuff hidden, right? You know, you see back in the 80s and 90s, these dudes, everybody knew they were probably gay. But they were able to keep that stuff hidden. You cannot keep that stuff hidden in this deen. Especially when you're like dealing with knowledge and everything, that stuff comes out. Comes out. And that's what you see people, they go overseas, they study, they seek knowledge, they come back, they get tested by the people. Tested by the people. And this is what I used to tell, you know, the brother, you know, I think I might have mentioned this to Sajid one time in Jacksonville. I said, you know how you can tell when people are starting to go astray? And he's like, what? I said, they start posting pictures of food on their Instagram. I'm like, if you're an imam, no, wallah. And he's like, oh, look what I cooked today. Look what I cooked today. Ya akhi, you're an imam in a masjid. Is this the state that you've gone to now that you're taking pictures of food like a woman? Are you serious? You spent all those years seeking knowledge, but it's because there's stuff that's buried in the heart. And he didn't get rid of it. He thought that he tried to hide it, and he tried to focus over here, focus over there, focus on it, focus on yourself. Trust me, you have enough, all of us, like me, myself, I have enough issues dealing with me that I don't have time to deal with anybody else. I don't have time. Like a lot of people come to me, I have a problem. I have a problem. And my problem is me. I am my biggest enemy every single day. I have to fight and struggle against myself. I don't have time to struggle against your enemies and focus on you. You got to focus on you. Each person has to focus on themselves. We can advise each other, but in the end, who's got to get the work done?
Us.
You. Yeah, mashallah. You're showing promise now. Mashallah.
My mom said get pizza right now.
Wait.
My mom said get pizza right now.
Alhamdulillah.
You guys got pizza? Alhamdulillah.
Yes, the world is going to change.
I have a question. It's related to this.
It better be.
Allah said in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَاللَّهُ مُخْرِجٌ مَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْتُمُونَ. Is this verse also applicable for Muslims? Like
Everyone. If you're hiding something, especially if it's going to be a danger to the people. So you got people that, you know, like look at, like, let's use an example of Mr. Fawley. Mr. Fawley. I just call him the Dr. Al-Fawley. All right, so look at him. He sat there overseas in Medina, studying in Medina, dressed in a thobe, had a beard, call a Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, call it, right? He's sitting there just putting on this whole little act, this little cosplay. He came back to America, and Allah brought all that stuff that was in his heart. Now the man is made statements that wallahi akhi, complete statements of kufr. You know, if he didn't have a ta'wil, I'm pretty sure if you took that stuff to the ulama and said that this person said this and this person said that, Allah alam what will happen.
You know what he said about the Quran?
I know. I'm not trying to go into all that stuff. Right? That's going to end up. But everybody knows what he's been saying. And then the only people that haven't accepted that till now are just the people that are just fans. They're not about the deen. They're not about the truth. We follow the truth. We don't follow the people. All right. So focus on the actions that you can do every day and start with those actions. Do not be concerned with what this person is doing or what that person is doing. Your only concern in this regard is yourself. Focus on yourself and what you can handle every day and get to work. Make sure that you're getting the things done that you need to get done, and don't worry what other people are doing. Do we have time for the next one?
No.
So you said you're going to keep it really short.
Yeah, let's stop now, because this is going to be more of an explanation.
So the
Let's stop.